What up, everybody? Let me get to the spot. Hey, everybody, this is Carlton Hamilton, and welcome again to day 9, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, day 9 of the 100-day challenge. And you can see it's starting to catch up with me. I'm going to have to get in there and get back on my regular routine and get this shaved off. It's starting to make me look my age. I like the baby face. All right, so thank you all for joining. Again, shout out to the motivators, Robert Brooks, David Reed, and Cindy Leonard. I think maybe some people are joining in on their other pages. Great. If you want to chime in with me, go ahead. But again, all I'm trying to do is do something. And something popped up in my timeline. And I was doing, like a year ago, I actually was completing the 60 or like the 64 days of the insanity thing. And I noticed that, I always like some sort of fitness challenge, get me motivated, because other things seem to be a little bit boring. But what that reminded me of is just some things that I'm going to mention to you. And one of them has to do with that I seem to always be looking for some sort of challenge. And it reminds me of Dr. Dennis Kimbrough. I've listened to him a lot. And if you haven't listened to him, go find Dr. Dennis Kimbrough. He always talks about, he said, what gets measured gets done. And I think he broke it down, or my interpretation of that is, when you have a goal, you must set a deadline, a measurement. When you set a measurement, you'll wake up every single day understanding that, are you doing something that's getting you closer to that goal, or are you bullshitting? Very easy measurement. And most people, even when I ask them, I said, what do you want? They'll tell me what they want. And then I say, okay, put a date on it. And they start hemming and hawing. They start sounding like what's his name, Porky Pig. And I said, the day that you put a deadline on that and measure what you're doing is the day that your motivation will probably begin. Because the minute that you put a deadline on it, you force yourself. Every day that you get up, you go, ooh, am I bullshitting today? Or am I doing something that's going to move me toward that goal? And then that deadline could be a week out, could be a month out, could be a year out. But now you know, am I doing something? Or now you can actually measure, am I doing something to move myself closer to that goal? Then when that date hits, you say, okay, did I hit the goal? Did I exceed the goal? Or am I short of the goal? Either way, you can just then reset the goal, because you said, ooh, I moved a little bit closer. Okay, I'm going to reset the goal, and maybe even shorter this time. So instead of the goal being a year, say, ooh, what can I do in 6 months? Because I was talking to my brother, and he was talking about writing a book. He knew I'd already written a book. And I said, okay, give yourself a deadline. But when you get to that deadline, then just reset it and make it shorter. Because he said, well, I'm going to do this. This book's going to take 2 years. I said, why 2 years? I said, how about give it a ridiculous deadline to have it finished in 6 months? And he paused and like, man, I said, because why would you give it a date of 2 years? That was my point. Why would you give it a date of 2 years? Because you've never written a book, so you don't know if it takes 6 years, 6 months, or 2 years. So go with the 6 months. After 6 months, you might have the book done, or you will say, ooh, I only need another 1 month, 2 months, 3 months to complete the book. So that was just my way of how I kind of break things down. All right, so join in if you want to join in. I'm gonna just move through this real quick. If you are interested in the book right there, Plan Your Greatness, or How to Plan Your Greatness, it's on Amazon. But if you want a signed copy, then you want to reach out to me. Think in terms of your goals as far as a measurement. Give them a deadline. What gets measured, get done. Give it also maybe a visual of you being at the end of that goal, and what does it look like with you finishing the goal, and how many people did you impact on the way? Just think of it in that term. Say, I'm done with the goal. How did it help out my life? And how did it impact other people's? Then that gives you an idea of how other people have either inspired you or you've inspired them. So think of it that way. That kind of helps me as far as the view from the top. Goals need deadlines. What gets measured gets done. Plan your greatness. I'm also going to start taking this video and posting it on my other channel, because I know now I'm starting to get in a little bit of motivation stuff as opposed to just the updates. If you notice, there is some background music in the back, and I want to mention that if you are listening really closely. It's from a YouTube channel called Golden Tree of Abundance, and it's supposed to be at a frequency that helps with creating the attraction of money, of love, and of health. And I'm on this health journey, so I wanted to have something that is in my mind playing at the right frequency and creating that health abundance. But again, we are on day 9. We're going to go ahead and shut this down so we can stay within the 7-minute window on YouTube. And I'll leave you with as what I always leave with on my other channel, and I'm going to start doing it here, and that is plan your greatness. You know why? Because no one else will. I will see you tomorrow.